Hello dear students, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ritesh Budden, and in this video I am going to share with you a detailed explanation of the chapter Poets and Pancakes from your textbook in English class 12th, Flamingo. This is a very important explanation. Please watch this short video till the end very carefully. And if you are new on my channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much if you have already done it. So let us enter into the explanation of the chapter, the story Poets and Pancakes. Poets and Pancakes is an extract from Asoka Mitran's book My Years with Boss. The boss was S.S. Vasan, who founded the Gemini Studios, which produced a number of films that influenced every aspect of Indian life. The lesson begins with Asoka Mitran telling us about Gemini Studios. We learn about the very popular makeup brand whose name was Pancakes. The Gemini Studios uses this brand excessively and orders truckloads of their products. After that, he goes on to tell the readers about the troubles the actors and actresses face. Pancakes were used as makeup material in the studio by many famous actresses, and the studio buys in a very good amount. He humorously told us that these pancakes turned decent looking characters into monsters. The cameras and studio lights require that the artist should look ugly, and in turn all players were made to look ugly. The department had an office boy also who was around 40 years old and believed he had so much talent. He wishes to become a star actor, director, screenwriter or lyrics writer. The makeup department was upstairs and looked like a salon. So anyone who comes there in the scorching heat and light to get themselves ready feels that they were in hell. The department also stood for national integrity, as in its initial days it was headed by a Bengali, then by a Maharashtrian, assisted by many people all around the world. The author's job was looked down upon by everyone in the department, as he was always seen tearing or cutting newspapers. Everyone comes to please him, and even the office boy comes to recite his poems, but all goes in vain in front of Subbu. The office boy got vexed by this, and certainly he was jealous towards Subbu. Subbu was very close to the boss, and whenever he faced any difficulty presenting the scene, Subbu was there with prompt ideas to present. He was good at writing poems and could write in high order, but suppressed his talent and wrote in simple Tamil. He has written novels also, in which he recreated the mood of Devdasis to make them lifelike always, and sometimes performed better than the lead actor. But he played subordinate roles only. Subbu was a member of the story department at the studio, but always seen with the boss. Besides, there was a legal advisor also in the studio who was known for his cold behavior and illogical facts. Once, he also destroyed the career of a talented actress. One day, an actress showed angry words on the sets and spoke against the producer. The legal advisor cunningly recorded her voice and played in between the shooting. She was shocked to hear her own voice and never returned on the sets. The career spoiled. The Gemini Studio hosted the most influential plays, and they became a huge success. And later on, he came to know that MRA was the counter-communist movement. The writer also informed about the visit of an English poet named Stephen Spender for an unknown reason. Grand preparations were done to welcome or for Stephen Spender. They were all concerned about his purpose of visit and could not understand what he spoke about. Ashokamitran's duty was not considered important by all, and he was engaged in paper cutting and making files. Everybody wanted to give some task to him, and he also remains at beck and call. The author soon looked at a notice in the Hindu newspaper. He came to know that the editor of that journal was none other than Stephen Spender. After that, he came to know about a book titled The God That Failed. It contained 6 essays about the failed communism, and out of them, one was written by Stephen Spender. The mystery was solved and the purpose too. Now let's have a look of the main characters of the chapter Poets and Pancakes. And you are requested to watch this part also very carefully. This is very important. Poets and Pancakes main characters, and let us make a sequence. And number 1 is Ashokamitran. And in the chapter, he is the author of the narrative and an employee of Gemini Studio. Ashokamitran's work was to cut newspaper clippings, paste these and maintain a file of the same. The other staff looked down on his job and believed themselves to be superior to him. Next is Office Boy. The office boy was not really a boy, but a grown-up man. He was 40 years old. He was in charge of the crowd makeup. Though his job was an easy one, he considered himself to be a skilled artist. He has once desired to be a star actor or a top screen writer. He blamed Subbu for his failure. And next is Kothamangalam Subbu. Kothamangalam Subbu. Kothamangalam Subbu was the number 2 at Gemini Studios. Though he definitely came from a less advantaged background than the office boy, being a Brahmin by birth had given him better exposure than the office boy. He had the ability to look cheerful at all times, and his undivided loyalty was to Vasan, the principal of Gemini Studios. Extremely creative, Subbu directed all his talent to his principal's advantage. Though a brilliant actor, he was content playing secondary roles and usually performed better than the lead actors. Without a doubt, Subbu gave direction and definition to Gemini Studios during his golden years. Subbu was an extremely talented poet as well. Though capable of writing complex poetry, he deliberately chose to write in simple Tamil words to enlighten the masses. Generous to the core, Subbu's house was a permanent residence of dozens of near and distant relations, whom he fed and supported without a thought. Yet even Subbu had enemies. The next person is legal advisor. Like Subbu, the story department of Gemini Studios also had a lawyer, officially known as legal advisor, though better known for the opposite reasons. While every other member of the story department wore a khadi dhoti and white khadi shirt, the legal advisor wore pants and a tie and sometimes an oversized coat. He is described as a man of cold logic in a crowd of dreamers. He was responsible for destroying the acting career of a highly talented actress by his irresponsible behavior. Next is Stephen Spender. Stephen Spender, an English poet, editor, and a one-time communist, came to Gemini Studios and gave a speech. His lecture was about communism on one side and about his struggle to establish as a poet on the other. The content of the speech and the accent of the poet left everyone utterly bewildered, confused. The reason for his visit remained an unexplained mystery. Ashoka Mitran later discovered that Stephen Spender was the editor of the British periodical called Encounter, when he accidentally chanced upon Spender's essay on communism in the book The God That Failed. Ashoka Mitran understood the connection between the English poet Stephen Spender and the owner of Gemini Studios, S.S. Watson. This is the end of this video. I hope you have understood this chapter well. Please don't forget to like this video and share it with your companions. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.